why it is never going to be enough. Today, I'm discussing a topic that is so important to me, right? We all think that once we reach a certain point, it's going to be enough. Once we make this amount of money, once we, get the girl of our dreams, whatever it is, we think it's going to be enough at that point. The fact is, it's never going to be enough. If you're like me, and I'm sure you are, you have this internal flame inside of you that can never stop going, right? You can never stop. Every day, you're like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? I need to achieve more. It's constant striving to have more, to become more. I'm sure you're like this if you're watching. You're probably not watching. You probably stopped watching already if you're not like that. That's why you're a winner. You're still watching this video. I thought that when I got my first client, it would be enough. But let me just tell you something right now. It didn't do anything. It didn't do anything to me at all. First client was literally like process their payment, get the money. I'm like happy for literally that night. Went to sleep, woke up in the morning. I'm like, okay. Like literally nothing. You get that tiny hit of joy and happiness from, that first accomplishment, and then it just fades away. Just fades away so quickly. Man, I know this to be true, and I know that for most people, it just will never be enough. I have a feeling like that's gonna be how it is for me too. I mean, because in my mind, what's the alternative? Enough is a dangerous word, right? You can never have enough of something. You can always strive for more, right? Sometimes you don't need a lot of a certain thing, but when it comes to business and becoming successful and, making a big difference in this world and creating massive change, right? Like someone like, I read a lot of biographies, someone like George Soros. Do you ever think he thought to himself one time in his life, to this day, guys, I think he's 93 years old. You think he said to himself, oh, I think I've done enough now? No, he's still involved in his foundation. The guy has had his hands in, he's been responsible for elections in certain countries, made so much money. He's been able to influence economic policy in different places in this world. He's talked with presidents, right? Sat down with presidents. You think he's ever thought to himself, okay, I think I'm good. No, of course he hasn't thought that to himself. That's a man that I study very carefully, and I suggest you do as well. A man who came from nothing, who decided that, he wanted to be a philosopher, learned a lot about philosophy, and then decided that he wanted to become ultra wealthy and started one of the first hedge funds. And look at him. One of the most powerful men on the planet. Most people who are successful know George Soros. George Soros has had massive influence, not just power, not just money, but influence. He's actually changed things, major events in this world, in the direction that he wanted them to go. So there's never going to be a point where it's enough. Do you think that Mark Zuckerberg is like, all right, I've done enough. I'm done with Meta. I'm just going to pull out. No, of course not. Right? Because he also has a mission. He has a mission in front of him. It's what drives him every day. Meta is like his baby, right? He birthed it when he was young. I think 19 years old. Birthed Meta, Facebook originally, and has turned it into a machine, a massive machine, right? And basically no one can compete with him. Businesses rely on him with advertising on Facebook. Business would fall apart if Meta just disappeared. And Zuckerberg isn't just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna sell my shares, make $100 billion and then just leave. No, it's constant improvement, constant striving to be more, to do more. I know people who decided that it was enough one day. Successful people, right? They just decided, I'm good. They took a long, prolonged break. And now they get to this point where they're lost, right? They have so much money and, they don't know what to do with it. And they sold their baby, right? That they'd been building for so long. And now they're lost. They're like, what do I do? What do I do? I got a few $100 million in the bank or billions in the bank. And I don't know what to do, right? It's never going to be a point where you're like, I'm good. If you're an achiever, like me, like a lot of other guys who are constantly on a daily grind, right? There is no point where it's like, man, I've achieved everything I wanted to in my life. There's no end goal in sight. There's no target. It's I'm going to dominate. I'm going to dominate in my life. I'm going to dominate in whatever field I'm going into. Whatever goal I set, I want to reach it, and then I want to 10x that goal, right? Like Grant Cardone says, 10x. I was thinking today when I was talking to someone that, we have this vision about what we want to do, and, we're thinking about the long-term goal, and we were both saying to each other, like, I don't know what the long-term goal is. Like, I want to build this into something great, but like, I don't want to set a cap for myself. So we just decided we're going to hit a certain number, but it's not going to phase us, right? We just decided, we're going to hit this massive number, and then we're going to keep going. And then just keep iterating on it and create a machine, a enterprise that has influence and power. And, I want to do some massive things in this world. I want to influence social change. I think that there's a lot of disgraceful stuff happening in this country, in the United States, socially. We're going down the drain. We're going down the drain, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it as someone who had a Armenian father who gave me conservative ideals and taught me right from wrong and gave me a certain set of standards and values to live by. And I was in LA, and I just could never understand how these kids could get so brainwashed into believing all the crap that they were taught in school, right? In the past decade, new things have been introduced that never existed before. And I can't stand it, and I won't let it happen. I'm gonna be someone who makes a difference and changes the course of our future generation. I feel like that's my responsibility, so I'm gonna do that. But I hope you understood the point of this video, which is never set a cap for yourself. And when you think you're gonna hit a certain target and be happy, you're not gonna be happy. You're gonna sign your first client, you're gonna sign your second client, you're gonna make 10K a month, you're gonna make 100K a month, you're gonna make $1 million a month, you're gonna make 10 million a month. It will never be enough, ever. You're just gonna, live a much more comfortable life, have a nice big house, you'll have a jet, have whatever you want, but you're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna feel any different than you did you're actually gonna feel worse than you did when you were in the beginning stages striving to achieve something great. That initial period, like that period I'm in right now, which is grind mode and striving and working hard every single day, that's the life, man. And, as hard as it's been, and, God knows I've had some bad thoughts, and I've really struggled mentally in the past couple of years of my life. But what I do know is I'm on the right path, and, I'm going to achieve great things. There's no doubt about that. But I'm happy right now as well at this point, just working hard every single day. I feel more empowered, understanding the realities of the world, reading books, doing sales calls, signing clients, working with people, doing work that I find fulfilling. This is the life. It's a grind, but I love it. So I hope you find something that not only will make you a lot of money, but that you'll be passionate about. And I hope that it's something that will make you feel like you can do it forever, and that there's never going to be a point where it's good. It's constantly growing. So I want to thank you for watching today's video. If you want to learn more about me, you can click the link in my description. Check out my Instagram, and I'm really grateful for you. Keep striving. Stay on the mission. Don't let anyone knock you off track. Do what you believe in, and I promise you're going to get there. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.